Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. It's time for our third and final game of the North American Challenger Series quarterfinals. Of course, we've got another one afterwards, but it's going to be Team LolPro versus DNL Esports. The winner moves on to the semifinals. The loser is going to be gone from the tournament. So you got to win this game if you want in the LCS.
Yeah, series tied 1-1. Team that goes 2-1 progresses to tomorrow.
True.
Against either Curse Academy or Coast. I don't remember which one this
is. This is 3 versus 6, right? The seed?
Yes, so it's
Curse
Curse
Academy.
It's Curse Academy. Yep. So that's a big thing. Because if you go home, you have no chance at a third, fourth place match. You make it to tomorrow, you at least get another chance, even if you lose. Mm-hmm. So doing that means a huge thing.
Yes, it does.
You very much closer
right.
to the LCS and your goals. Otherwise, you'd come back in 2015.
Right. And again, 3 of the 4 teams in the semifinals going to make it to the promo tournament. Now, that last game was pretty incredible. First game, all about an early game team beating a late game team. Very clean play by LolPro to make that happen. Game 2 was actually much more equal, and teams had sort of similar power levels, but it was kind of about how they played out. Stixxay got really fed on Tristana. Even though he got an official quadra kill, I believe it was an unofficial penta, based on the Shyvana dying a while ago and then chasing through. I don't think that was tracked, so I think it might have been a pentakill for him. But also just the fact that they got to play their siege. They got the Jace top lane on Anda, and it worked out. They showed up in front of turrets. They set up a Baron really well. They chunked people out, and then finally got the fights they wanted.
Yeah, and the fact that Karma was able to speed up Stixxay, the Blood Boil as well, got him to that 10-3-4 score on Tristana, where he's just a huge wrecking ball, was big for them, because they could siege, then they could follow up. Jace pokes you down, Tristana comes in when you're low HP, reset. Yep. Fantastic play there, and great follow-through. So Stixxay was able to be aggressive because he had the speed boost, the shields, and the black shield, and able to just make the resets happen off the poke.
Mm-hmm. So now we got to see how these teams adapt then to this game at hand. If either team says, you know what, our losses was just a fluke, we can play the same thing over and over again, maybe they go for that one. Hauntzer could go for his 3rd Shyvana game in a row and say, no, we're going to remove the Tristana edge, we're not going to allow you to play this. Denial. Well, here's the thing. Do they remove the Zed from Law that they were afraid of? Do they remove the Maokai that you're sure Hauntzer's going to first pick?
Maokai.
I think, yeah, Maokai. I agree with you.
That's all I can think of is, like, you just pretty much got to go with the Maokai here. If they go with the Zed, maybe it's just that scary from Lod.
Well, we got to see what they go for. 2 seconds to make the last choice. You know they're debating it.
Maokai.
It is the Maokai.
Maokai.
I know.
Yeah. Nunu.
Nunu's the first pick. Okay.
First pick Nunu every single game.
Yep. And he's won every single time, too. Now, Stixxay says, my Tristana's gone. I thought his Cog was fine. But you can maybe deny the Corki from Signature, and you maybe force him off that. What else he's good at. Maybe AD carry Jace comes out for LolPro. The do-or-die game. And as Mundo, I did not like the gank pressure from Heaven Time set that matchup in a bad spot. I think you've got to find something a little bit more self-sufficient, something that can play from behind like Jace, even if you do get ganked. I thought that was a good choice. Without Trish, I think that comp can still work. I think there's other ways to siege turrets. So I think you could run a similar composition, but they're now going to go with a different look for the 3rd time in a row, another team comp for them. Corki and Elise picked for the first time for this team.
So Elise versus Nunu in the jungle. Nunu, he's still going to do his typical bullying. Elise can punish him a little better.
Yeah.
You keep up with him in multiple ways with the Cocoon. You can make sure that your lanes have enough time to collapse on him.
Yeah.
So it'll kind of keep him a little further from going really deep. Like Wolves might be out of the question unless you get the vision control, which they both will early on. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Sight Stone on Seika.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Honestly, Sight Stone jungler tends to be the new thing right now, and I think it's a great choice. I think having 6 wards kind of that are free all the time is very effective. Looks like Signature is going to go for Lucian for himself with Corki off the table. Just fine for him. Now Lod going to make a lock-in. It will be again Thresh for Patoy. Should be a fairly strong matchup overall.
Yeah, they're just going to go for back-and-forth lane bullying, fighting power in this bot lane.
Yeah.
And this is going to be one of the first Lucians we've seen in a long time because he was disabled since his minor tweaks. It's his range reduction and his change on Relentless Pursuit.
Right.
So this is the 414 Lucian. So he has taken all of his nerfs as well as his buffs.
That's true, yeah. So the cooldown and the dash is a little bit longer than it was before, and no longer removes slows. So Nasus now effective against Lucian once more for all those Nasus players out there. Stixxay always looks a random champion. He never locks it in. It was Poppy. It was Hecarim. It was a second AD carry at one point.
He's getting ready. Those were true. He's getting ready to be on the LCS stage where you just hover a champion. Everybody's like,
Teemo or bust.
Lock it.
Teemo or bust. Only thing you're allowed to hover.
Lock the Hecarim.
He's not
Give
going
it to Anda, make him take it top.
He's not going to lock Hecarim. I'm just saying.
He's probably not going to lock
I'm putting it out there. It's very unlikely. Morgana, I do like, though. I like Morgana against Thresh a whole lot.
Oh, yeah.
I think she's a great matchup there. Has the ability to easily acquire gold, as well as, honestly, deal with most of the things that he can do to her. So,
yeah. The telegraph moves with the Black Shield, very, very easy to find, easy to react to. Your auto-attack trading, Thresh actually comes out a little bit on top, but you just don't get an auto-attack range.
Yeah, just don't auto-attack him. And if he goes for an auto, bind him in the face, then his life is paid again. So Aurelia comes out, though, for Anda, so a much more mid-game focused team. He's trying to find something that'll sit on its own, deal with a Shyvana that Haunter keeps playing over and over again. It's like all Anda basically all Haunter basically plays, so that could be all kinds of good. Then we'll see, once again, the last pick mid lane from MVP Bear.
They're going to have to find some early game pressure on this Denial esports squad because LoL Pro, they're going super early game right now. They're basically running their same composition from game 1, but the Lucian is now, it's now a Lucian instead of a Corki.
Right.
So you have a Corki on Denial esports side with an Elise and Morgana, but that Aurelia, it's going to take you some time to become very relevant in the game. And it is going to be the Zed. Ooh.
All right.
I looked at his solo queue. He'd been playing it a lot. Very, very recently. I think in his solo queue games, it's like his last 7, I think maybe 5 of them are Zed. He's having a really good performance on that. And I was like, it doesn't seem like a LoD champion because you always think of him as an Orianna, as a Syndra, as like these long-range Nidalee players. He played Soraka back when it was good. And he's like, no, I can play everything mid lane and do well with it. This might force an exhaust here too on Denial.
Well, I know Navi ran exhaust in game 1 on his mid laner. Kassadin it was. Looked at Lulu's has no back to Karma here. Now, he did eventually spike up an endgame by getting a bunch of kills, but it's another, actually more so this time, a low damage team from Denial. Aurelia, I feel like, actually exhibits or projects less damage than Jace does because Jace can get that free poke down Corki. Not nearly as strong late game as Tristana, so I think there's a clock here for Denial right off the bat.
Yeah. Definitely, they have a clock on them because LoL Pro, they're just going to have this early game pressure, and it's kind of like as soon as you get a Blade of the Ruined King on Zed, you're able to just roam bottom. This is the type of champion they've been looking to get LoD on for a while now.
Right.
To free him up and go bot.
Yeah. And I want to see how this mid lane matchup pans out, Karma versus Zed, because I can see it going either way. I can see Karma bullying that matchup, shielding all the counterattack damage, rooting him in place, making LoD's life pain. I can see LoD getting the outplay. So I want to see how that matchup goes because I think that'll unlock a lot. You talked about LoD wanting to get unlocked, allowing him to roam down, allowing him to make the plays, and it's on Navi to keep him down.
Yep, so we have early game composition for LoL Pro. They they did succeed with that immensely in game 1.
Well, the weird thing is, like, it's the same, though, for Denial.
Yeah.
Like, Aurelia's not Jax. Like, it's not like you have this late game power either. I think it's really risky to say that, like, only one of these guys has early game. I think, actually, there's a better late game fallback on LoL Pro because of Zed.
Yes.
Because no one can deal with Zed late game. That it's, like, I agree with their early game power. I agree that it's there. But I think Denial's even more required to have a good early game.
Yeah, it does not fall off is the big thing.
Yeah.
Because Shyvana is just going to get even stronger, even more relevant. She's going to wave clear on top of Aurelia very early on and push her in. So there's that going in their favor. Then late game, the duel, the head-to-head, goes both ways.
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of... And knowing Haunter, if he gets a level advantage, he's going to push it and stay in lane and continue to grow it off of CS instead of joining team fights and just joining the actual big clump of people, which we saw last game. Yeah,
that is the Haunter style, actually. Yes. And I'm wondering, sort of, as Denial plays around that. So, basically, Haunter, what he's basically doing is, as you said, he's staying in lane, he's just pushing all the time, and he's relying on his teleport for his map mobility. It's almost always up for him. He'll have the counter going down. It usually works quite well for the man. And I think Denial are best served by seeing that and picking the right types of champions that like to be in the situation, right? These duelists who are like, I'm happy to stay in lane and counter-gank all the time, or I'll punish your gigantic willingness to stay in your lane the whole time. Like in game 2, I'm going to be Jason Go Siege. Worked really well.
Yeah.
And Haunter wasn't there. He flanked late, but that's not like his sort of comfort area, right? He'd rather TP in than flank, just as from what I see of him as a player. And that obviously worked very well for Denial in game 2. Here with Aurelia, if Anda can actually for once win this lane matchup, cannot get first blood by Heaven time, suddenly Haunter can't do anything. Because he'll be like, well, I'm going to fight you in lane and lose, and then not do anything, right? And like Aurelia's going to keep scaling up. So I want to watch very closely on the WPB versus LoD matchup. because I think it's so important to see what Zed can do, and I think it's really important to see how Hauntzer's lane gets affected by Heaven Time, because he's gotten 2 First Bloods in 2 games.
Yeah, the top lane has kind of been like Hauntzer's going to go up there, or sorry, Heaven Time's going to go up there very early on, upset it, then he's going to go elsewhere. He's like, I'm going to go bottom, and now we're going to get a dragon off of a gank down bottom, and then Law will show up, and that's usually how Law Pro execute that, at least the last 2 games that we've seen them. But Laud, now he's on a champion where he's very, very good at roaming. He'll clear the wave very quickly, go somewhere else. And if he runs into Karma and he's about 1 or 2 items, he will most likely come out on top in those matchups.
Yeah, I do want to see how it pans out. Karma does have the shield and the self-heals, so I think it also depends on Ignite being up or not. But I do want to see it pan out. I have not really seen a lot of Zed versus Karma matchups, because they were 2 different metas, right? Like there was a Zed meta all throughout Season 3 and all the Assassins, and then like all the utility mids came around at the beginning of 2014 when Zed was gone. So honestly, I haven't seen Assassin versus utility mid very much.
It kind of pushed them out, because it was like, I'm going to use my ultimate on you. Oh, sorry, I'm Lulu.
Yeah.
You're going to ultimate my teammate, Lulu.
Oh, I wonder though, right? Like how much of it was that versus just sort of people hopping off, plus the exhaust changes themselves. Real quick, guys, by the way, we do have a quick pause in the game at the start, so we have a couple minutes here where it's just us on camera instead of the champions.
They're not complaining.
I know you'd rather look at Aurelia than me, but unfortunately this is the case here.
Frost Booty Aurelia skin.
Hey man, there's new arts for a lot of the splash arts now as well, so you've got all kinds of new Aurelias to look at.
Some of those you can definitely tell that they are from the Chinese region. Yeah, the art style of it is very anime-esque.
I like how you're like the Chinese region. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess
because it's Chinese splash art.
Oh yeah, I know. It's from that client. But anyway, so you breaking down this game so far. Honestly, I think we know the lanes to watch for. It's weird because like I feel like I could make a point about every single lane, and I don't want to be like watch this and all 5 lanes and all 5 players, but they all have their own interesting stories. The other one for me is the bot lane. Once again, the Niles bot lane has been picking late game AD carries and still holding equal in lane until it gets hit by the jungler. Like a losing bot lane is holding up, which means that they're obviously very strong in the 2-on-2. Now we're seeing 2 early game AD carries, and I want to see what happens in that matchup now. Like, first of all, is Stixxay good at these early game AD carries? Yes, he's played Corki before. Yes, he's played some Lucian before, but right now in this BO3, it's a bunch of late gamers that are doing well. So how good is Corki is my first question. And then second to that also is Nunu's won every single game, and Heaven Time's got first blood every single game.
Yeah.
What's going to happen now?
The Nunu thing is actually what speaks to me a lot, because it just talks about these junglers and the type of control that each team likes to have over objectives. These are the types of teams that are like, we're going to use Dragon to bait, we're going to have a Nunu, we're going to use Baron to bait when you back. Just the fact that even if they chunk your jungler down to half, they immediately go for an objective speaks worlds about their style and how objective focused they are. The warding of these teams has been really good. Yeah. The Sightstone junglers are very popular between them, and the fact that both junglers are even starting with a ward is another thing on top of that. Just the control and the emphasis that both these teams put on that means Nunu, that top pick priority, does wonders for them. And then playing against it is just a big hassle. It's kind of like when there's an Evelynn, you have pink ward tags. Against Nunu, it's going to be even more green wards that you want to place on the map than you normally would.
Yep. But we'll see the Sightstones come out most likely. Ward actually already placed here by Seika, watching the bottom river and maybe seeing a late invade by Lawpro. That was his investment there. Otherwise, waiting around in spider form at level 1, not too much happening. Trinket to also watch his blue buff, so any invade path on this bottom right side will be watched, and Niall's going to actually spend their efforts in the top left side of the map instead. You typically don't ward and then stay in that jungle yourself.
No, you just use those to look for you. Don't use your body after that.
Ward comes down. No sweepers yet from Denial. I always like when you start with like a sweeper at level 1 and you're like, I saw Ward go down, 10 gold, and you can like switch back afterwards.
Yeah, it definitely helps you out, and it'll help your team out too. You can also do it in the reverse. You place a ward down, then go back for sweeper.
True.
Of course, the 10 gold's definitely going to help you.
It's super relevant. I feel like LOD should have renamed himself to LOL for how much he was laughing at the start of that game.
Then he'd be...
LOL Pro LOL?
Yeah, LOL Pro LOL.
Is that good moves, though? It's like a semi-Macarena. He's like just putting his right arm out first. Over and over again.
Just looks like an epileptic fit. Maybe. And Zed's not dancing, he's actually spazzing. Help him.
Aww.
Help him.
Too many flashing lights.
Ah.
Karma's ulti just doing too much to him. Heaven Time going to start red buff. Same for Seika here. We are into game 3. They got to win this one to move on. Lod W Pooh Bear trading spells for now. You can actually walk away from a Karma empowered Q if you just keep going in the same direction the whole time. So that is something that Lod should be continually doing throughout the entire landing phase. 1 CS missed by W Pooh Bear. None so far from Lod. Early push does go to denial one more time.
Yep. It's off the Morgana. Doing a little bit of extra damage with the Tormented Soil. It's going to help them push it to level 2 very, very shortly. Support Daddy, he positions himself for a binding as soon as they hit 2.
There it is. Bindings. Gonna hit Patoy in the back of the head. 15 gold.
He did it last time, too.
Yep. Patoy didn't flash this time, though.
That was like a... You're like the headmaster of Hogwarts.
What?
15 gold!
Why is that Hogwarts, specifically?
15 to Gryffindor.
Oh, yeah.
Please, please.
Sorry. She's actually wearing the Gryffindor colors, right?
Yeah.
Got him. Not even a very big Harry Potter fan. Sorry, guys.
Wow. Eh.
I mean, when you are a wizard, why watch fake wizards do things? Uh-oh, Support Daddy taking a little bit of damage, though. The 1v1 in this AD carry fight, though. Ignite onto Zig, and of course, there's no summoners in range of Stixay, so Zig forced to run away, chugs his healing potion.
They stop fighting each other. They don't blow any summoners there.
That was rough, though. Stixay forced a summoner heal because the Q was coming out. And that is definitely a lead now.
Coming around Patoy. He's
oh, man, Patoy didn't see it. Good damage to the flash binding. Oh, that was almost in time. Support Daddy gets hooked, though. He's in a bad spot. Flayed into turret range. Beautiful by Patoy, and that is first blood in a 2v3.
Wow, Patoy coming up big there. The flash, the hook backwards. Level 3 was not yet available for Support Daddy, so he didn't have the black shield.
Yep. Absolutely marvelous stuff, though. Law Pro did a great job there, man. The Doran shield. Oh, the flash engaged on a W Pooh Bear, forcing him away. That was okay. Trade of summoners. Why not? Put the shield back on. Yeah. Well done, Patoy and Zig.
Yeah, they came up really big there in that bottom lane. This bot lane is something that we've seen every game. Kind of just hold even, be upset by jungle pressure, but now it's the opposite. Is the jungle pressure trying to make it even again, and it didn't work out.
Oof, and taking some damage back on Hanser, though. Both these guys are understanding their cooldowns. And saying when W's up, you got to run away, and then when mine comes back up, you run away.
A little bit more sustain on Anda's side, though, because he had the flask available to him.
But Hanser should be safe to TP back soon with maybe a second Dorans and a longsword or something. We'll see.
Seika strolling into lane.
But here's the Heaven Time. He's got to be careful. Flashes back away himself.
It's one of those haphazard kind of ganks. It's half-hearted.
Yeah.
You walk up, you're kind of like, all right, I'm showing myself. And it frees up the enemy jungler to make the best decision possible to him.
And it's forced flash.
Do I go into that lane to help counter gank? Because you're kind of just being a second laner. Or do I go into your jungle? Or hell, do I do both? Heaven Time. He's gone for the latter.
Do I stay or do I go? Goes top lane. Ice Blast.
Oh, that was trouble.
If he stays, it'll be double. Lod gotta go ahead and keep clearing up his mid lane wave. He has not had to recall just yet. W Pooh Bear has, though. 34 CS on the Karma. Goes for second Doran's Ring and an Amp Tome. So, as much AP as possible to try to bully out this lane. Right now, honestly, the great play in the bot lane. Mid lane is actually going well for Lod. Nubby is not holding him down. That was one of the things to look at. Top lane, so far holding equal. We'll see if Anna can win this matchup.
Yep. Lod backs, gets himself the Bilgewater Cutlass. He's ready to sustain in this matchup against Nubby. And here's the thing, too, is this kind of throws Karma off of her normal routine with items, because you want to get yourself the Athene's Unholy Grail. Like, no question about it. It is probably the best item for Karma, first item. Then it's like, do I get Morellonomicon? Do I get Seeker's Arm Guard? Do I get, like, both? Do I still get the Athene's Unholy Grail because it's just so good?
Yeah.
A lot of questions going on.
I mean, it could just be a couple... Oh, the engage, though. Anda's going to land the stun, though, on a Hanser. Hanser's got to run away from this one. He does have flash, but you've got a Karma coming right about now, and Hanser...
Gotta be roamed.
You got to be careful. Gonna pop the W. Gonna run away as fast as he can. Actually, there's no one in his way, so Hanser's safe.
Yeah, the flashes, none of them blown.
Just out.
The movement speed here. He's actually...
What? Yeah, I don't know if that's worth it. Okay, he's gonna back off. But actually gives a lot of time for Anda to just kind of chill out and get his farm back.
Seika found a Heaven Time.
Level 4 on both trigger wards come down. Actually, you know what, Seika, yeah, gonna go back into spider form now. Yeah, I finally gets the damage back down. But Heaven Time just does not take much damage as Nunu.
Yeah, and he could also chow down on one of those spiderlings.
Almost the binding from Support Daddy.
And they just chunked out the jungler a little bit.
Yeah, I think they're both durable.
But
to be honest, that was a wet noodle fight.
Yeah,
they both went towards Golem Spirit.
Yeah, they both went towards the Quill Coat.
Yep.
They had the extra ward, the vision we talked about. That's such a priority for these junglers.
Another Binding Missile for support. Daddy Patoy dodges that one. Bot lane still looks pretty good. Small item lead for Signature. He will be closer to Trinity Force by a lot here. He's landing really good Qs as well. You see those piercing lights come out.
Look at all these wards that both teams have placed inside of the jungle on that dragon side. So they're setting up for it already, just thinking about a minute or two into the future. And now Seika on the top left side of the map is going to free up this pink ward to be cleared.
Yeah, keep in mind, it's actually 3-1 in pink wards. Now it's going to be 3-0 in pink wards there. So LawPro have been doing a better job of the vision game. Smite used by Seika here. And that's a very big risk then when, you know, Denial are honestly losing vision here.
Yeah, slowly but surely, it's just falling out of their hands. Seika.
What a hook onto Stixay though. Flay's gonna land on support. Daddy, who also takes a fair bit of damage there, wants to trade back with his own Phosphorus Bomb, but there's double ultimates now for the LawPro bottom lane. There's the culling used to force them back even farther. Entire spell hits.
Eventime doing the blue buff.
Eventime's got Smite. This is basically free for him. Seika gets some good damage back down. Cocoon does not land. That could have been big, but he's not going to get it here.
Seika has to zone him completely out. Lod
going after Smite to come back up. There's the engage on towards the Denial mid laner. Giant damage comes down. That is a kill picked up. They don't even stay for the blue buff here. Seika wants his fight though. Can he get it? Couple hits from the kill, but there's a lantern. There's a hook, and Seika's going to be going down. LawPro starting the game out 3-0.
Wow, just going after the blue buff and then falling back off of it. They might get another kill here. Oh, he goes for the flash
box. The ignite is on. Black Shield's not going to be enough. Zig finds another kill. Support Daddy flashes for it, gets the damage down as best he can. Summoner he'll use though, and Zig still has flash. He will stay alive. And oh, it's just getting worse and worse for Denial.
And the blue buff still hasn't been taken. Do they have enough HP to even go for a dragon? I think they're just going to cut their losses and go for the blue.
It is fine. They're good.
And if Eventime now with the blue just tanks up the dragon, they might be able to do it. But they are all so low, and they don't want to get caught off guard.
No, this is the right call here. Yeah, Dragon's actually plenty dangerous, but you know what? It is still a 2,000 gold lead here for LawPro. They're looking very good overall. Hanser, you know, for what it's worth, he's being held in check much more by the Aurelia of Anda, but it doesn't mean that much when the rest of your team is just doing so darn well.
Actually, it's going to be Denial going for this. They have the advantage here in terms of vision. Also, they just backed, got themselves some items, and they can go straight for this. Eventime, complete opposite side of the map, cannot contest.
Looks like Seika will claim this one, and Denial are now back within 1,400 gold here, so maybe they can claw their way back in. But I think a lot of it's going to be on the back of Anda winning this top lane matchup for real. It's the only lane that has any semblance of a lead at all.
Yeah, we already saw that Lod is doing really well on that Zed in the mid lane. There's a reason they banned it out in the previous game.
Yeah.
And now it's showing itself. It's rearing its ugly head. There's just too many bans that they had to use on other things.
Yep.
They did get to counterpick it though. But Nubby, it's not working out in his favor.
Yeah, and this is kind of the thing as well, is keep in mind the blue buff also got stolen away. So Lod has one and Nubby does not. As he sits on this amplifying tome. He's slowly going to try to get more power, but he will run out of mana much more quickly in this lane.
2-on-2 in the top lane, but Seika's going to be a little late to that party.
So Anda gets denied a whole bunch of XP. This is perfect by Eventime. He just shows up to the lane.
Seika's
if you stay and
very
fight,
low on levels, though.
Well, but they're trying to take this fight anyway. Level 5 on the Elise, though. Repels up in the air. Here comes Nubby Poober. Could that be enough to tip this fight back around? Seika is on top of the burnout, though, and he goes down by chasing Hanser for basically no reason. Anda lands the stun, and then flashes away. Eventime getting a lot of damage with the red buff. That will be a shield from Nubby Poober, though. Consumed to keep him alive. Hanser back around as well. That was an unnecessary death from Seika.
Yeah, tries to chase. He had flash too. He could have flashed away. Could have just not chased at all.
All they had to do was walk backwards.
And he ends up dying to the burnout. You're absolutely right. And Lod, meanwhile, he farms up the wave, pushes it out, and he's all good in the mid. His team actually comes out on top in the top lane. Gets themselves a turret and a kill for nothing.
Beautiful stuff, yeah. And again, it's over and over and over again. LawPro just seem to be finding better fights as a team.
Oh boy, Anda might be in a bad position here. 2-on-1. And they're going to chase him down. They have more movement speed.
And he's going down.
Just not a good position there for Anda. He teleported in, half HP still. It didn't look like he waited to.
He had no backup as well. He was in a rush to save the turret, but the fact that Eventime showed in the first place meant like, when Nunu shows up, it's for objective control. Like, Nunu doesn't gank to, like, get a kill and be like, great, we got the kill, I'll back off now. He's not Lee Sin. When he shows up, it's like, by being here, you guys run away. Like, I'm just gonna hit your turret a bunch, or just, like, push you away. When Nunu shows up, it means they want that turret. And is showing up to that top turret, you know Heaven Time's coming back at that point. And it's just, you know, unfortunately the wrong play for him.
Lod getting dueled by W Pool Bear right now. It's the poke back and forth. Junglers off on the sides, but Hanser going back to that top lane. We said it before, he keeps winning that top lane matchup off the back of Heaven Time. Every game, it's been the same story. Heaven Time will show his head up top, get himself a lead, and then he'll go elsewhere after Heaven Time is, or Hanser is completely self-sustainable. Yep.
And Hanser right now is on an early Blade of the Ruin King, 13 minutes into the Fade Sheen of Anda. Now this is a level 9 Aurelia though, so the power spike is there for the Hiten style. I feel like it's still a better fight for Shyvana, but we'll have to see. Maybe Anda can outplay it.
I think the Blade of the Ruin King is definitely going to help him out.
Yeah.
In comparison.
I mean, it's pretty incredible. Nunu continuing to counter jungle there, smites it away, and down goes the Big Wolf. Completed Ancient Golem to the still only Quill Coat.
Walk straight into this mid lane. Patoy not going to land anything, or go for it.
All right, life stays safe, but the Nile are running out of options very quickly. This is very reminiscent, I think, of Game 1, where they were just controlled the entire game and it ended in 27 minutes.
It's the split push. It's the 1-3-1 with the advantage here from LawPro. A good strategy.
Stixxay's forced away. This mid lane outer turret down to half HP as well. Heaven Time still getting ward control, and Seika can't even live in his own jungle anymore. Ice Blast lands, Patoy wants in.
I don't think he can live anywhere.
Forced to flash away from his own wolf camp there. Lod kills the baby spiders. And
he left
now
him.
Mid lane outer turret's gonna go down. Yeah, unfortunate scumbag Seika let his spiderlings die.
They don't flash with you.
They do not. They will repel.
Yeah, so Lod and all of LawPro, they're going to go for a 1-3-1 split push here. They're going to try to ward up their jungle roots in between. And so it's so much easier to rotate. You saw there that they cut Denial off, pushed him out, and then Lod was like, all right, we poked you down enough, we're going to take this mid turret, even though it looked like he was going for bot. Now, they can come back, revisit it, do the same strategy. Push all the waves up, look for an opening. And there's one right there.
A whole bunch of damage on support. Daddy is flash away after breaking a voxel, but here comes the re-engage. Anyway, Zed goes on to Stixxay, who has nowhere to go. He will pop to Loud support Daddy. One hit from Dead does, in fact, go down to the Ignite, but the re-engage comes in from Seika and co. Can they do enough? They kill back onto the Nunu, but Elise Morgana also dropping now. It's going to be Zig still in the mix. Double kill for himself as Aurelia falls. Only Nubby Pooh Bear left alive.
There's really only 100 HP left on the entire team of Denial right now.
Yeah.
It's blinking. That's going to be LawPro picking up a turret for themselves and establishing a dominant lead. About 7K, 15 minutes in.
Bigger now.
3.
Yeah, closer to 8,000 gold. Hanser going to clear the rest of his wave out. Just get as much gold as possible, jump back to his team, and looks like these guys are just fine. 2-0-2 on Hanser, 3-0-2 on Signature.
Patoy throws the lantern over, and it actually forces Lod to use the Shadow to get closer. He uses the 5-point palm exploding heart technique on Stixxay, flies himself back because cool Zeds don't look at explosions, and then Support Daddy dies to the Ignite. Just the fact that they are able to just brute force this down. LawPro wanted to do this game 2, they did it in game 1, and now they're doing it again in game 3. They like to fight, they like Signature on these harassy type champions that can go really hard and have this early game power. The fact that they got Nunu again speaks even more to that they're able to execute that early and keep this gold advantage.
He's done beautifully. And I actually have to commend Hanser in that last fight. One thing he did that was amazing. He started the fight in human form and stayed in it for a while. When Anda came in and went for Signature, Hanser then ulted the Aurelia out of range. Blade Surge was down, popped the 10 style, said, get away from my AD carry. Peeled for him as Shyvana. I don't see that often, but it was a really smart play by Hanser.
Yeah, Hanser's been doing a really good job on Shyvana. I think he's gotten it every game.
All 3.
All 3, exactly. And it's a type of champion that we haven't seen so much in the meta. So all these tanky top laners who aren't all about
damage,
fighting
their utility.
It's showing up to the fight and being this tank while your jungler's the fighter.
Yeah.
Kind of like, all right, we'll have our top laner be a little bit more of a fighter tank, and then our jungler's just full-on tank. Look at Heaven Time. Look at how much he's tanking right here.
They're trying to pick up the kills in the back line. Looks like absolute zero use. He runs away. Hanser just going to wait for Sega to come down. Good damage coming out. Dragon Form's available. Pops it, and that's going to be the kill picked up right there. Solo kill for Hanser. Spiders infuriate the dragons here, as we can see.
Another 2-level lead here for Hanser over Anda. He just has this matchup down pat, not just champion-wise, but player-wise. Every time he's coming out on top with the help of Heaven Time.
Yeah, time and again, great stuff there. Signature going to split push the bottom lane, easy pickup for himself. Down it goes, 5 turrets to 0. They've lost a dragon at one point to Denial, but honestly, this game is in complete control by LawPro. Hanser, who wants to clear a wave? Why not?
10k gold advantage, 17 minutes into the game. It's looking a lot like game 1. Not as dominant, but it's still just a great showing by LawPro once again against Denial. It's going to be so hard for Denial to even get back into this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
The fact they have Aurelia, maybe, but
she's so far down.
She's so far down, exactly. Her power spikes are so delayed, it would have to be about a 50-minute game before they get back into it.
You need a lot of time, and even then, like, Blood Boiled Lucian's actually a pretty darn good AD carry.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to go in. Nice little slow into Hanser, who does get hit by the Morellonomicon. Anda wants in, lands a slow. One hit from Dead. Here comes the Zed, though. And Anda's going to go down. He dodges the Dark Binding, goes for Nubby Pooh Bear. That's one hit from Dead as well. Lands the Q. A double kill now for Laud. And Denial just keep getting denied.
God.
Oh, almost.
Laud just coming up really big there. The fact he got Zed this match, and he's just putting on a clinic.
Yep.
He's basically showing how it's done. It's a masterclass here.
He's playing absolutely amazing. Yomu's Ghostblade done as well on top of the Blade of the Ruined King. Double Actus for himself off boots 1. Stixxay in a fight with Signature. 2 levels down and a red buff. Nowhere to go. Zig grabs the kill with half health remaining. Nicely done. I mean, he's up a completed Trinity Force.
Yeah.
Full boots 2 and a BF sword.
So Hanser actually ends up getting collapsed on here. He sees it coming. He uses his ultimate. He gets very, very low this entire time. Laud was already en route to this. Gets Anda. Anda realizes he doesn't have the movement speed to catch up. Dodges the Dark Binding by returning to his ultimate. And he gets Nubby, the enemy mid laner, without using his ultimate on him. He just chunks him down completely and
Solo.
finishes him off.
Yep. Pretty darn good play, man. Laud, he's still awesome.
He's playing everything, though.
We say every single series.
He's playing the Xerath. He's playing the old school Nidalee. Now he's like, I've got Ziggs, Orianna, I can team fight. I'll pull out the Zed.
The Yasuo.
Just show how deep my champion pool is and how skilled I am on all these different champions. We used to say that his Syndra was ban-worthy. There's a lot of things that are ban-worthy against Laud.
Good luck with that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually surprised we didn't even see Syndra once this entire series, but these guys had more important things in their mind.
He went 0-3-0 on it against Teammate.
And just stopped.
He's done with it. He's retired it.
Never mind. All right, well, Anda dived under his turret. Can he get away? Looks like the answer is no. Quick kill by Hanser. I've seen this before.
Yep. It happened with Jace
story.
and Shyvana. Hanser, now he just created a big advantage in the top lane. They're going to rotate straight towards that. And now Heaven Time just zoning, making sure they can't even contest this top lane turret going down. Oh, Laud, though.
Stixxay, he's going to die. Laud's unstoppable.
Oh my god, he's going to go
really
back
proving
in.
it. Yeah, he wants more damage as well. That's a pretty... Oh, no, red buff. Yes, it is. Basically a 2v1 under the turret, and he gets both kills. Yeah, he dies, but you know what? Who even cares? 6-1 and 2. Seika now screwed as well in front of his own turret. He's going to go down. That's a surrender. 20 minutes and 37 seconds as the Nexus blows up. Yeah, that's a well-deserved game by LawPro.
LawPro, they're going to make it to the semifinals, and they're going to play Curse Academy, their sister team. Look at that. Just an amazing back and forth between the two teams.
Yeah.
A 2-for-1 from that Zed. 2-for-1 in terms of exchange. I'll take that any day.
He got like 3 of those.
Yeah.
Like throughout that game. Like honestly, I mean, what else can you say? I mean, it looked very much like Game 1 LawPro. This time it was not because they're facing a late-game team, but it's because they took control of that game really convincingly. It was incredibly impressive. The 2-on-2, then the 2-on-3 in the bottom lane. Extremely well played by Batoy, well played as well by Signature to isolate the fights they wanted. They fought that well. Hanser, every single game, won his lane matchup. Heaven Time, every single game, set his top lane up for success. And at least in laning phase, Laud won every single game. In 1 and 3, he won in team fights too.
Yeah, and that puts them at least in one of the live showings at the LCS because they're in the top 4, and top 3 teams end up going and being in the promo tournament.
Yeah.
So they actually fought for that tooth and nail, and a lot of factors went into this because there's been a bit of a break between last time we've seen these teams and now. And it's a completely different patch. I think it's actually maybe 1 or 2 patches have gone by. I think we saw a little bit on 4.13. 4.14, though, there's so much open here. A lot has been tweaked, a lot has been changed. And I think even last time we saw NA Challenger, Maokai top wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
We saw EU Challenger and Maokai top was a thing, right? When we got to that point. But it's just been a while. These teams have had a lot of time to just bide, come up with strategies, come up with deep champion pools, and then throw them on the table and say, you have to deal with this and react to us mid-series.
Yeah.
And the reaction by Denial just wasn't completely there. They adjusted game 2, but they went even for a long time. So basically, it's been stomp game 1, kind of bashing heads, but breaking it open off of a good team comp that ended up pushing through.
Yeah.
Game 3, another stomp in LoL Pro's favor. They just went back to their roots.
And so LoL Pro have to make sure they keep playing this type of LoL Pro. Like, Game 2 LoL Pro was not a very strong team, to be completely fair. And they've got to make sure they sit down and figure it out for tomorrow so they can win the semifinal match against Curse Academy. And as you mentioned, yes, we're going to see them on the big stage later on. They'll play either the third place match on Saturday or the grand final match on Sunday evening. But LoL Pro, they definitely look like they have the elements to win. Their players are strong. Their cohesion seems very good. They lost their old shot caller in low, their old support, but it seems like they're still finding very good ways to play as an organized unit. That is a good thing as well. Honestly, their willingness to jump into the enemy jungle and grab a fight for a buff, just their tenacity to do that seems incredibly strong. That's, I think, their biggest strength, is that LoL Pro just get out of their lanes and go do things, and that's really good for them.
You talked about not having their old shot caller low, but it looks like a different team when he's not on it right now.
Yeah.
Because their rotations seem really good. Their collapses seem good. They're kind of playing to everybody's strengths.
Yeah.
And this bot lane, a new bot lane for about the third or fourth time that we've seen, because they keep just changing it up. It's like Patoy's going to play AD carry, no, Heartbeat's going to play AD carry, no, Hood Stomp, and just low, and then just all these different variations.
Right.
Now it's Signature Patoy. Yeah. And this bot lane actually looks like it's working out for them.
It is. And I want to see more of them, though, because you've only been tested once. Stixxay and Support Daddy, also, to be honest, a fairly new duo as well. Denial, to be fair, we're the 6th seed coming in. They want a tiebreaker to make it here, so they're pretty strong, but they're also a fairly untested team. So you can't use this as a great measuring stick for how good LoL Pro is. You've got to see more of them. Curse Academy, we know, is a strong team. We know whoever they face in the third place or finals match will be a strong team, so that'll be a really good series when you come to it. LoL Pro, it's going to be a road for them.
Yeah, Impactful and Bunny Fufu up against...
And we know they're a good
Patoy.
team. We know those two are really strong, so that's going to be a bot lane, sort of fight to watch for. So if your playoff fix has not been sated so far, you're in luck. We've got another best of 3 showdown between Teammate and XDG Gaming. So don't go anywhere. That series starts right after this. There's the engage on towards the Denial mid laner. Giant damage comes down. That is a kill picked up. They don't even stay for the blue buff here. Seika wants this fight, though. Can he get it? Couple hits from the kill, but there's a lantern, there's the hook, and Seika's gonna be going down. One hit from Dead. Here comes the Zed, though, and Anda's gonna go down. He dodges the Dark Binding, goes for Nubby Pooh Bear. That's one hit from Dead as well.
Vlad, though.
Stixxay, he's gonna die. Vlad's unstoppable.
Oh my god, he's gonna go
really
back
proving
in.
it. Yeah, he wants more damage as well. That's a pretty... Oh, no, red buff. Yes, it is.